Hi everyone. Hi everyone, I'm Sahiba from Shopmatic. We are here for our Doers and Dreamers live session. Hi Shehnaz. I will just quickly add in our today's guest. Let me just send them the request. So, hi. Hi Santos. Hi Avi.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
We're good, we're good. How about you?
I'm also good. Let's just wait for a couple of minutes. There are a lot of people who are just joining in. So we'll start it in another a minute or so, okay? So
Okay.
there are a lot of people who are just joining us. So if you can say hi to all of them.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for taking your afternoon off to listen to us.
So there is PS Happy. She's saying hello to you.
Yeah, please happy
Hi.
hi.
Hi, Pei.
Shanaz is saying great to see
Hi,
Santos and Abe.
Shanaz. Today's weather is actually very nice. It's cooling. It's a bit humid. The plants. This kind of weather is what plants love, actually.
Okay, so I'll just give a quick introduction to all the viewers. So this is Avi and Santos. They are the plant parents. They are the plant parents and they are the founders of Plants Ate My Money. They both are passionate cultivators and collectors of plants. So without any further ado, why don't you guys introduce yourself and your brand Plants Ate My Money?
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So we're actually a small, medium business that just started. We just turned a year actually. Gonna be a year old. So when we started this, we got into plants about 8 months prior to starting the business. That's because we got our own place. We just got married and we got our own place, so we wanted to spruce out our home. So we wanted to add some greenery and a bit of life to the rather dull gray and white theme that we are having at home. And of course, we would go to the usual big nurseries like Far East Flora and some others, to name a few. And I remember our first purchase would cost us $500,000.
Half a thousand
So
dollars.
yes, $500,000, and I think only two plants out of those that we've bought
Survive.
survived
Yeah.
after like 3 months. Yeah. So so we started from there. I was into edibles at the beginning because I use it for cooking, and then eventually my husband got into the rare plants collection. So he was the one who started bringing home like species that I couldn't even name back then. So I didn't even know what their names are. They look weird. I've not seen any of those leaves before, and they have different shapes, sizes, but he was into it because I've not seen this side of him. He's not really into plants. I mean, neither of us until we got our place. So it was actually a turning point for the both of us. It's something that we dedicated so much of our time and our energy into caring for something. And it just started from there. So it became more of I would say a healthy addiction during the pandemic, something therapeutic for the both of us. With every purchase, of course, you are spending money. That's why we came up with the name Plants Eat My Money.
She came up with the name Plantsatemymoney. Little did I know that she set up a Instagram account and then a handle, Plantsatemymoney. And that's where it all started. And we started posting things like the things, I mean, the plants that's eating our money on a almost daily basis. So there's a saying that once you get started with this rare plant correct collections, it's a rabbit hole. So technically, it's everything else is history after that. So yeah, we're almost 1 year into our nursery, and it's been phenomenal in terms of our growth. And thanks for the support of the community. We wouldn't have done it without the support of the community and the trust. Most importantly, yeah. So we'd like to thank each and every one of you guys that have been part of our journey and continue to be part of a journey. And rest assured, we'll always be continuing to be learners, dreamers, and we'll continue to progress and improve each and every day. So keep the feedback coming in, and those are the things that keeps us going. Yeah. So it's a never. We don't rest in our laurels, so to speak. So yeah.
What an inspiring story. So, just wanted to know that you have mentioned that you are into rare plants. Like, if I believe they are the tropical plants that you source from South America, Japan, Holland, and Southeast Asia. So, my question to you is that, like, how did you select that you have to, you have to sell these tropical plants only? Like, what made you do that? Like, what was the idea behind it? Like, you will go for the tropical plants over the other plants?
Majority of the tropical plants nowadays are being sourced within South America, within the Amazon basin. So it shares the same ecosystem. Amazon basin is shared by different countries from Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, and those are the countries that we typically source our plants from. There's almost shipments almost every month. Some are big and some are small, but recently we have, I think 6 months back, we had secured an exclusive distribution of Peruvian plants from one of the largest nursery from Peru. Um, back the reason being why Peru is there's a majority of the nursery coming from South America, mainly from Ecuador, do ship plants to Singapore. But back then we were thinking, why only with the rich diversity of ecosystem within the Amazon basin, why only from Ecuador? So we were searching, so we searched for small nurseries from Ecuador and from Bolivia, and then we came across this big Peruvian nursery, and we connected with them, and then we said that we want to distribute your plants in Singapore to begin with, and then we'll go with the rest of Southeast Asia. Yeah. That's pretty much the reason why we selected plants from that's pretty much the reason for that selection of rare tropical plants. Majority of the species are coming from South America.
Oh, nice. So, my next question, like, I really wanted to know this. So, since you are sourcing the plants from South America, right, there must be a lot of challenges you face in Singapore because there is a climate difference, right? There must be a lot of challenges and risks that are involved in the business. So, can you just tell me, like, how do you overcome that? Like, what exactly you are, or is there a proper planning behind that? Like, how things are working out?
Goodness. Definitely in bringing plants, there is always a risk. Importing plants from overseas, anywhere else, even locally from one destination to the other, would put the plants into stress. So more so if they're coming halfway across the world. So the first thing that we need to get right is where are they going to be housed? What's
Okay.
the substrate they're going to be in? There's no one size fits all. Basically, some plants would prefer certain media, and some plants would prefer different media. And we don't. So in terms of adjusting an environment, in our nursery, which we have a little bit more advantage because it's very ulu, it's very kampong. So kampong refers to a very foresty and far area in Singapore, which most of the time no one heard of that. Oh, is there such a place in Singapore like this? So anyway, so it's as close as to being in the rainforest, and so we do adjust the lighting condition where most of it are shaded, our nursery, which pretty much mimics their environment in South America, because most of them are bottom dwellers, most of these plants in the rainforest, and then they are protected by the canopy of the trees. So we want to mimic those, and we set up almost 100% shade in our nursery, and then increase the humidity by applying pebbles, gravels underneath as a base in our nursery, and then we also install misting system, which runs every hour for 5 minutes. We do increase it to 10 minutes each hour. That means from 10 o'clock in the morning up to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, our misting system goes on automatically. So every 5 minutes. Reason being is in the Amazon basin, it pretty much rains about 300 days a year on a minimum.
Yeah.
So you'd like to mimic those environments. There are certain species that will inevitably will not make it. It's about maybe when we got started, there's about a fatality rate of about close to 15%. So for every 100 plants that we would bring in, 15 of those will not make it. And so as we become we receive better wisdom, and then we become more experienced, so that percentage goes down all the way, maybe less than about 5 below 5% fatality rate for the plants, because some of them, they're really not good shippers, I mean, like they don't ship well. Yeah, so those are some few of the things that we account for when we're bringing in this plants, and then how we treat the environment. Yeah.
There's so much of effort and hard work you guys put in.
Yeah, it's actually very manual, but I think it's something that we both enjoy because it's very hands-on. So both of us do believe in, getting our hands dirty, doing the work ourselves. So we do understand how to run the business from the ground, from the ground up. And right now, we're just doing it, just the both of us. So as a couple as well, that's also something that we have to work, figure out.
Yeah, because we are like we're together at home.
Yeah,
we're together
at home, we're together in the nursery, so almost 24 hours. Like, this is my coworker. This is
You are the
my
power.
husband.
Yeah,
so there's no office hours to stop. Okay, you're no longer like my colleague. You're now my husband. Like, how do you talk to me? How do we do with this? So yeah, it's very the line is very blurred. So most of our, I would say, business meetings would actually happen when I'm driving, or in the midst when we're doing deliveries. That's when we're actually bouncing ideas with each other, and where to take our business next and all that. So it's on the fly currently right now. So it's actually fun because every day is different for us. Even though we know what we're supposed to do the following day, but we can't predict because there's new orders coming in, there's visitors, people, customers to talk to serve. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's been a very interesting 1 year actually for us.
I think you guys are doing fantastic job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are just at the end of our session, and I'm very curious to know this, like, what are the plant trends that one has to follow in 2022? Can you just share it?
Trends in the okay.
So in the recent months, I think last year we would say that
And it,
people were more into philodendrons, but
Yeah.
currently this year they are moving more to this species called the anthuriums.
Yeah.
So that is what we are, where the trend is going into. But
Yeah.
of course, there are timeless plants. For example, we have one here which is our favorite, the philodendron Florida Beauty. So this is, I would say, it's timeless lah. This is really a plant where you can have next year even. I think the value is
it's a fast grower, nice variegation. You won't know what comes out next. Mainly for variegated plants, you don't know what's the pattern's gonna be like. So sometimes you'll get the half moon, and then sometimes you'll get full yellow like this one, and then some will have a like mix of this color. So very nice, and a steady grower, and yeah, they don't require much humidity. Actually, they can thrive. Neglect. Yeah, can grow it indoors or outdoors. Yeah. Like what Avi mentioned, I think this year there's predominantly a trend going towards the hybrids of anthuriums. Over the past few years, especially during COVID, where this tropical plants and aroids skyrocketed in popularity. A lot of them are into the heart-shaped philodendrons. So one of the is this.
It's actually one of my favorites.
Wow,
Yeah,
what a lovely shape.
philodendron gloriosum. So yeah, so some call it some call this as a white vein, some call it as zebra because of the secondary veining. Yeah,
They call it as zebra.
Some species that develops this secondary and third veining all around the foliage, they call it zebra, but in actually a lot of them are just white veins, as we call it. Yeah, there are some differences in terms of Ecuadorian species and Peruvian species, although they are called the same. Yeah, so this is pretty much one of the timeless classic, and it's quite easy to take care of.
You can grow it indoors. You can grow it outdoors.
Yeah.
It doesn't require much light, so
Yep.
This is I would say a classic.
Anything that's velvety and heart shape, yeah, it's always.
People are drawn to this. I mean,
Yeah.
when you saw it, you're like, wow. But even in person, it looks even better. So this makes for perfect gifts, housewarming, and all that. If you're going to delve into a first plant that you want for your house, a rare plant, and this is one of the, I would say, an easy to care for plants.
Yep.
If not, you would not go wrong with like a sansevieria. So they have a few types.
This is a whale fin.
This is called whale fin.
Yeah.
So this
Whale fins. It's called whale fin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the shape of a whale fin.
Okay,
Yeah.
shape of the whale.
Yeah. So it doesn't require much water, and we've come up with.
We water this about like once every 3 weeks.
Yeah, once every
Oh.
Yeah, so it's relatively easy.
So you don't even have to, doesn't require much sunlight. Of course, if you give it light, it will grow even more. So this leaf
It's a new leaf.
is a new leaf.
Yeah.
So this one has potential to grow as big as this.
Yeah.
So if you want it to be dormant and slow grower, don't give it light. Just you can put it beside your laptop where you're working. Just, very
nice tabletop
nice
plant.
tabletop
Yeah.
plant. This one as well. Photos, enjoy. Very easy to care for. It's I would say the cheap variegated plant
Options. Yeah. Yeah, it won't eat up your money so much.
And you don't feel so bad if you actually accidentally kill it. Yeah, and then if you want something that
hanging and trailing,
like you have a bookshelf, you want something that will trail, you can pick something like this. It's a philodendron Brazil.
Yeah. Brazil.
So it's got a bit of
So these are for the hanging. These are hanging plants.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
So you can hang it anywhere in the bookshelf or any the shelf. Yeah. So it's nice hanging. And they trail and they grow really fast. You can just cut it anywhere, snip, and then it will propagate and multiply.
So
Yeah,
these are
relatively easy.
easy
Yeah.
to care for houseplants.
And another one, which is one of the underrated plants, foliage plants, is Lindeni
Denny.
Yes, or Lindeni.
or angel wings or angel. Yeah,
Angel.
Lindeni. So really nice foliage, quite easy to care for as well. Very striking veins. It can go as big as this. I've seen in a nursery grow a little bit more bigger. Yeah, so you can just place it in any
Yeah,
side
so
table as well.
if you, for aesthetic reasons, we do put our aeroids in our aeroid pot, so you can see the roots.
So you can monitor
So
the
you can
roots. Yeah.
monitor the roots.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can also tell from the substrate if it's dry.
yeah.
You can tell easily when to water it and all.
Yeah.
But of course, if you don't like having plastic stuff in your house, what you can do, or what we suggest, is you can get the pot of your choice, and then you just put it inside.
Yeah.
So it's also going to be easy for you if you want to water your plants. Just remove them from the pot. Bring this.
Nice.
Yeah, bring them to your shower or place them outside where you're going to water them, and just water through your plants, because we know that it's not easy watering plants indoors. It's messy. Gardening is messy, and you wouldn't want your water to be spilling on your table, your shelf, especially if they're not meant to be wet. So this is one of the ways that you can do. You get a pot, a ceramic pot, plastic pot, whatever, but you can still put them in this. You can monitor the roots that way, so you know that they won't suffer from root rot, and then just easily place them on a table or everywhere.
Yeah. And
So,
so
Santos
yeah.
and Ivy, our viewers actually wanted to know that what are the price of these plants?
Okay,
So most of these plants are below $30.
except for
Yeah,
this
except
one,
for the Gloriosum
and
and the Florida Beauty. So let's just give them. So this one you can get for less than $10.
$4 or $5.
Yeah, $4 or $5. Okay, and then it's a nice tabletop or side table plant. And
This
then
one is $28 to
about
$30,
$28.
depending on the size.
Yeah.
So below $50, I would say.
Yep. And then this guy here is you can get it for below $20. Yeah, $18. Yeah, you can get it this size. And then this one is pretty much the same, below $20. You can get depending on the size. So perhaps a bushy size like this would be less than 30. Yeah. So, and then another one is it's our all-time favorite snake plant. This is another variety of snake plant. So it has some properties which allows it purifies the air as well. So it's very nice for the bedroom. Yeah, and again, this costs less than $20.
Okay.
We're gonna go for the rare ones. So this one would cost you
somewhere around below maybe about 100. Yeah, 100 for like one leaf size of this philodendron. And I think the more expensive are the variegated plants. So last year, one leaf of this would pretty much cost anywhere from 300 to 400, just one leaf. So so if you get like a bushy 6-7 leaves, so you just multiply it to 300. But I guess there's some you can get some of this for less than that. Yeah, depending on the genes of the plants.
You can also buy cuttings. I mean, some people do sell cuttings because they grow quite fast. Some plants.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on the species and the type of plants that you actually buy. Yeah, but at the end of the day, they will eat your money. That's why I came up with a name. I mean, apart from plants as well, you will also have to think about where to house them, like the pots, as I mentioned earlier, and then the substrate, which my husband mentioned, which Santos mentioned earlier. So what we found, which is really essential in our our business is how do we maintain and how do we keep our plants alive. So that was one of the I would say visions that we had, so we came up with a substrate that would benefit the plants, whether you grow them outdoors or indoors, and we do have a range of them.
So I guess what she's is trying to say is that half of the battle is won when the substrate is correct. So I guess you have to really think about it, because majority of the time when you go to a nursery and you buy plants, those plants are housed or in a media which is not gonna allow them to survive. It's not ideal. It's not ideal for indoors, and they're there because it requires less. Yeah, it requires less watering. So as a nursery owner, the less that I could water my plants, and the longer that I have to water it, the better for me. Less manpower for me. So
and
that's
the turnover rate is fast. You know, it exchange hands very quickly. You know, the transaction is very quick. So they don't actually keep the plant for long. So as a consumer, as a plant parent, you actually go to a nursery and buy the plant, but then you realize that 2 weeks later it dies. But it's actually not your fault at all.
Yeah.
It's just that the plant is not in the right substrate or media, or you need to put it in a better pot. And another thing that we also found as a niche for our company is to provide that extra service of how do people actually care for their plants.
Yeah.
So the transaction doesn't end from just buying the plants. It's how do we care for them, how do we maintain, and
Absolutely.
how do we actually build your confidence in moving on to getting another kind of plant, or if you're interested in trying to grow another species to bring home, how do you do that? How do you then change the environment, or how do you help
so it's kind of really yeah true. So I guess
maintaining the emotions of the customers. It's not really about transaction and all that. And we are really very appreciative, because a lot of our customers end up becoming like friends, acquaintances. They drop by our nursery. It's a free place for them to just hang out. They're not obligated to buy anything. Just come down, say hi, soak in the atmosphere, because it's very different from the city life when you go to a very, I would say, deserted place, very quiet. Nobody's gonna disturb you, while you're looking at the plants and just breathing in fresh air. You can take off your mask when we're supposed to be wearing masks these days, right? So I guess that's also a way for people to have that therapy.
Nice. I think you are true plant parents, and all the tips that you have shared, I'm sure all the listeners who are plant parents, they're going to follow it from now on.
Thank you.
So thank you, Santos, and thank you, Avi, for joining us today, and thank you very much for this insightful session.
You're most welcome.
Okay, everyone, we are now at the end of our series. So thank you so much to all the viewers who have joined us today for this insightful session. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.